Calgary Flames organization would sincerely thank all fans in attendance today and every night for another great show of support. Budweiser wants you to remember that there's more great games waiting, so please enjoy responsibly. Calgary Flames back under Scotiabank Saddledome Wednesday, March 16th when we take on the New Jersey Devils. Game time is 8 o'clock. Reminder, 8 o'clock. Head to calgaryflames.com for all your ticket information. On behalf of all of us, my name is Beasley, saying so long, good night. Don't forget to switch those clocks ahead 1 hour before you go to bed tonight. Right now, Alanna, Nolan, and Ryan Dittrick are standing by with the Ram post-game show, brought to you by your Alberta Ram dealers.
Winning Motor Trend Truck of the Year 3 times in a row? That had never been done before. Then again, neither had a 12-inch touchscreen or 1,000 pound-feet of torque. Never been done before. It's just kind of our thing.
Welcome to Flames TV Postgame Live, brought to you by your Alberta Ram dealers. Alanna Nolan alongside Flames.com's Ryan Dittrick. We're going to break down this 3-0 win for the Flames over the Detroit Red Wings. Ryan, just a thought on tonight's win.
I mean, this is one of those nights where the shot clock kind of told the story, and for 40 minutes, it kind of felt like it was a full Flames power play. But, you know, interestingly, they only had the 1-goal lead at that point, and at times it felt a little precarious. So you knew the Red Wings coming out for that third period were going to feel pretty good about themselves, just knowing that they hadn't brought their best stuff, but they were right in the middle of a hockey game. It was a bit of a push there, but fortunately for Flames fans, they were able to extend the lead there with some timely goals.
Yeah, Detroit certainly pushed back in that final frame. Let's take a look at the goals. There weren't that many, but that's okay. We're going to take a look anyway. Opening the scoring, it was Elias Lindholm for his 30th of the year on the power play.
He's doing what he does best. I love when he brings the puck into the slot area like this. He has this little kind of a half toe drag, really deceptive, kind of makes it a very difficult save for the goaltender. And, you know, typically that's a far out shot, but he makes no mistake there. Great release.
Nothing doing in the second period, but in the third, Tyler Toffoli would add to his point per game streak since joining the Flames.
Yeah, and Lindholm won't get an assist on this play, but he kind of makes it all happen, wins the offensive zone draw. And geez, right now there's something working between Matthew Tkachuk and Tyler Toffoli on this power play. We knew Toffoli brings that offensive knack, and certainly on the power play, that right shot presence down by the doorstep, huge boon for the Flames.
And lastly for the Flames, Blake Coleman. Watch how he sells this one to the referee. You and I were chuckling about it afterwards.
Yeah, first, I mean, great feed from Chris Tanev, too. He's got his head up the whole way, but yeah, that's quite the visual there. Blake Coleman, face first. That face, by the way, has taken a rough couple of nights here, maybe a few stitches, but doing what it takes to get the goals, that's for sure.
All right, well, this was the Flames' 4th game of 5 this week. And I mean, we saw them against the Washington Capitals. Looked a lot more tired today. They didn't seem to be as.
It's sort of been the hallmark of this team, right? Everybody talks about having a good start, and I think over the course of a season that can get a little tired and sound like the cliche that, just used to satisfy us media types. But it's true, and the starts have been great all year. We saw it again tonight. It wasn't just a start that carried over for the first couple of shifts. It was something that they were able to roll every line and continue that presence throughout the first period. And when your guys are going like that and the offense is coming maybe a little bit easier than it has been in some recent nights, I mean, the legs aren't going to feel so tired, and they know they got another tough one coming up in, I think, less than 24 hours now too. So they're riding high, feels good. Keep those good starts going, because they're going to need another one tomorrow night against a pretty high-powered Avalanche team.
And a rematch of the game from a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Jacob Markstrom gets his 9th shutout of the season. What did you think of his game tonight?
We have our good friend Andy in the booth. He put together a great pack that kind of shows his body of work over the first 40 minutes of play. Not a whole lot to speak of. 5 shots against. I think that tied a franchise record for the Flames in fewest shots allowed over 2 periods. But it was good when they had to be, and that's all you can ask for if you're a goaltender. But in this third period, we talked about it off the top. The game was sort of hanging in the balance there. A 1-goal lead can evaporate very quickly. He did what he's done all season. Stood tall between the pipes, gave his team confidence. And once you're able to sort of settle things down in those first couple of minutes of the third, that makes a huge difference. It allows the guys to kind of settle their own game down and maybe go back on the attack, and that's exactly what they did.
How tough is it for a goaltender who only faces 5 shots in the first 40 minutes to, hit that barrage in the third period that we saw from the Red Wings?
It's interesting because the very last clip there, Vladislav Nemestikov, probably Detroit's best chance of the entire game, doesn't even register as a shot on goal. So for a goaltender, he still has to make those movements. He's still very involved in the play. I don't think a lot changes for a guy like Jacob Markstrom. He's very involved, very active in his crease. So maybe not the heaviest workload. It became a little bit more traditional as this game wore along, but I think for him it's going to be a well-deserved, I was going to say break, but at least flight over to Denver tonight. Hopefully he gets a few shot.
Let's talk about Elias Lindholm. He got his 30th goal of the season tonight, extends his point streak. What's working so well for him?
Well, the points, we have it written down here. What is that? 29 in his last 19 games. That's pretty impressive. But the goal streak is incredible. 16 in his last 17 overall. And it's kind of I was going to say tired, but it's just, I feel like we're repeating ourselves every post-game show. He was at the podium yesterday, and we were spending our time talking about how good his line mate, Johnny Gaudreau, has been coming off that hat trick. Roles are a little bit reversed tonight. I think we're going to have to start giving him his due. So he's been great. As we saw in that highlight pack too, he's so involved. He touches every aspect of the game, and we saw him score the goal. He sets up the next one with the face-off win. He plays huge minutes on the penalty kill. There isn't anything he doesn't do well, and it's just incredible to watch him go, because this is a guy that we're going to talk more and more as the season goes along about being in that Selke conversation, because for my money, that's your front runner.
Right. All right, well, let's hear from head coach Daryl Sutter, his thoughts after tonight's win.
What are your thoughts on that one?
Proud of the players. Tough to play. Another tough turnaround game. Not much break in it, but stuck with it. Power play was good. Obviously scored a couple. Penalty killing, stayed out of the box. 2 big kills.
It strikes me as a game where it's maybe harder to stick with it than it may seem when you. Like, is that a challenge for the players when they're not getting rewarded and it's 1-0 to kind of stay doing what they're doing?
Stick to the game plan, yeah.
Is it difficult for them?
It's different than sticking with it. Stick to the game plan. No, is it hard?
Yeah.
That's how you win. Winning's hard.
For sure, but is that maybe growth?
But if you break and try and get your goal or assist or your point, then there's a good chance you make a mistake, good chance you lose. So we're learning about that.
Was it frustrating in any way for your players to only be up by 1 goal? You were putting so many shots towards Thomas Greiss.
Yeah, we had a lot of good chances, but you got to learn how to win close games too. It's not always. If their goalie would have stood on his head and they'd won the game, then it might have been frustrating. But that's not the way the league works.
I know you weren't a goalie, but these are the games that are tough for a goalie like Markstrom, right? He went almost 20 minutes without a shot at one
It's
point.
his job. Play on a good team. Simple. Right? He had to make some saves in the third, so he stayed focused. It's his job.
It's first appearance for Michael Stone since December. What'd you make of his game?
Proud of his effort. Tells you about what he puts in every day.
I know you're not big on individual achievements, but was it nice to sort of see him get that assist at the end, considering all the how much work he's put into staying ready for you guys?
I didn't know he got one. So good for him, yeah. Yeah.
Shillington, that was a surprise to us. Do you expect to see him back soon?
Surprise to me too. Full practice yesterday.
Talk lots about the penalty kill, but again, tonight it's the power play with 2 for 2, and obviously that
penalty
second
kill
goal.
is just as important. You know, at their team, if you look at it, Detroit's taken them and San Jose fewest penalties in the league, so you get at the most, I think they have 27 games where they have 0, 1, 2 penalties. So you're going to get 0 or 1 or 2 power plays, so it's important to score on the first one.
Are you seeing a difference with Tyler Toffoli on that top unit?
Yeah, Tyler's hot. Tyler's a good player. That's the difference. It's quite a difference.
You tied your franchise record for shutouts, team shutouts, back in 2004 was the last time. Do you take pride in that stat, a team shutout?
Well, they are team shutouts. So, team plays the right way, then you have a chance. I'm not too big on how many or any of that stuff. I'm just trying to win games, and that's it.
Where were you?
Advance. I know we won't see you tomorrow, but how different is the team going to be tomorrow that you're facing without Gabriel Landeskog?
Well, they should be quite a bit fresher than us, shouldn't they? They've been home for 3 days. We got to fly tonight. Don't forget to set your clock ahead too. We got to do it.
I guess with the coach's challenge on the Coleman goal, were you fairly confident with it? Because I mean, it's very rare that you sort of see a goal scored with the player who scored it inside the net when it goes across.
Well, they challenged goalie interference, so obviously it was deemed as not goalie interference because the puck was in the net. So, I mean, he was behind the goalie, so it's a goal. I mean, I think we'd have been disappointed if they wouldn't have called that a goal.
Okay, guys.
Thanks, Daryl.
Yep.
All right, Ryan, some thoughts from Daryl Sutter on tonight's win, but we wanted to talk a little bit about Rasmus Andersson. He assisted on Lindholm's 30th goal of the year tonight, and he's quietly been contributing to the offense this season.
Been a monster, absolutely. I think, hat tip to Darren Haynes over at The Athletic. He pointed this out last night on Twitter. The points are coming. I think in his last, we're dating back to January 18th, actually. He's 3rd in league scoring among D-men, so 2 goals, 18 assists, 20 points. Not a bad bit of work there, and obviously he was huge on this opening goal of the game. Makes the pass in the neutral zone and sort of sets up a little bit of a pick there at the offensive blue line. Great stuff there. It shows a guy how connected he can be and really lead to some of the offense. But you break down the sheet tonight, we're taking a look now, 24.5 minutes. That's far and away tops on the team. 2.5 of those shorthanded, so he's been a big part of this penalty kill that, again, spotless on the night. We're talking about near historic levels based on how good they've been at the turn of the new year. So, yeah, and Daryl talked about it too. Oliver Shillington not in the lineup tonight. A little bit of shuffling on the blue line. So Rasmus Andersson, a little bit more of an elevated role. And, man, 24 minutes. He's taken that and run with it, that's for sure. Speaking of the penalty kill, still 1 goal allowed in the last 11 home games. That penalty kill unit is rolling. I don't know what else we can say because we keep asking the guy for their secrets and they're not willing to reveal it beyond they're aggressive. Tight-lipped. But that is what it is, right? They're so aggressive. They rarely, first of all, allow the other team to get set up in the offensive zone. When they do, they kind of converge on the puck carrier, make life difficult, take away those seams. But, kind of a common theme that we've seen over the past couple of nights, they're really stacking up at the line and really preventing the entry at all. So that's a different way to sort of stifle the offense. And we know there's some creative players on the other side, a few guys that are in the running for the Calder as well. So lots of talent, lots of creativity out there. If you can snuff that out before they even get a look, you're better for it. Yeah. We heard from Daryl Sutter about Oliver Shillington out of the lineup with an injury. Just what did you think of Michael Stone and how he was able to step in? Picks up his first point, too. That's excellent, too. A little bit of a second assist there on the Blake Coleman goal. Nice little saucer pass to set that one up as well. So, it's sort of a recurring storyline around here, but he's been such a good soldier for this team over the course of many years now. And that's not an easy role. A guy that comes to the rink every single day, puts in the work. The stuff you don't see, he takes part in the full practice, but after a morning skate or a practice like we saw yesterday, he's getting skated hard. He's getting the baggers from the assistant coaches too. So he's putting in his work. He deserved the opportunity and a good opportunity as well to play alongside Chris Tanev tonight. They look good.
Right. We talked a little bit about Tyler Toffoli earlier. It continues his points per game streak since joining the Flames. He now has 8 goals and 5 assists. What has he meant to this team at this point in the season and coming on so strong?
He's so steady, right? Everything he does, there's an intelligence to his game that I think really stands out, especially in games like this that are tight and, you need that extra jolt of offense. But this is some of the handiwork on the power play that we've seen a lot of. He's a real threat down by the goal mouth there. It makes life easy for Matthew Tkachuk to make that pass. But, in terms of the even strength play and what he's brought, aside from the points, like we said, high IQ player, always makes the right plays. Kind of Elias Lindholm in a lot of ways too, but on the wings. So he's doing everything right. The more guys you can have on your team, the more you're going to be better equipped come playoff time.
Right. We talked about the penalty kill already. What about the power play? 2 for 3 on the power play tonight. It's like the special teams want to keep it all even.
It's a special teams league, that's for sure. But you need to have it going. And we know that, at this time of year, offense is going to be hard to come by. I mean, we saw it through 40 minutes here tonight. It wasn't easy to get through some of the tighter check and stuff and get into the middle of the ice where a lot of goals are created. So you take advantage of those opportunities when you get them. And they didn't get many tonight. We're talking only 3. That's a great opportunity for you to sort of roll with the offense. And we know come playoff time, your power play, your penalty kill, that has to be dialed. And it looks like it's on track to be.
Well, and it looks like they have a lot of chemistry together too.
Absolutely. And you know what? And kind of to go back to the Rasmus Andersson discussion too. So I had a conversation with him a few weeks ago about, the way that he's been able to elevate his game. And, he's kind of hard on himself based on how he played last year because he felt that he let an opportunity slip getting those minutes on the first power play unit. So you've got guys now that are seizing that opportunity rather than letting them get away. And I think there's a lot of individuals on this team, not to belabor what happened last year, but I think they took it upon themselves to say, hey, we need to be better. We need to execute, and we're given these opportunities, and they've done that. It's been great.
Accountability, we like it. All right, let's hear from the first and second stars tonight, Jacob Markstrom and Elias Lindholm.
Jacob, can you just describe that kind of night? Looks, I don't know if it would be difficult as a goaltender or frustrating, but definitely a mind game maybe.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, more mentally draining than physically, obviously. But, it's good to see. It was 31-5, I think, in the shots, and, they had a few dump-ins on that. So it was, it's always good to see us, spending more time in their zone than our zone. And, I knew, they're going to come pushing, especially when it was a 1-goal game, and then our power play got the second one of the night. That was huge.
And how were they able, your team, how were the Flames able to suppress their shots from your eyes?
Well, I think it was, we did a good job of keeping them on the outside. They did a lot of, behind the net and trying to rim it around and change side, but, we cut the back of the net off really good. And, Stoney, I think, had 3 blocks in the first period, so, just him coming in on and playing like he did tonight, it was great to see.
Those first 40 minutes, do you remember seeing a dominance like that, in your days?
No, but no, we played well. We played made it hard on them and played a lot in those zones. So then the shot's gonna end up that way. So we spend majority of the time in the ozone, and so it's the fun to be down there.
What was the message after the second period? What were you guys talking about?
No, keep playing the same way. Obviously, we didn't. That's something that I work on, and it was still a 1-goal game. It was still a chance for them to come back. So we got to do a better job to put away that game earlier.
Elias, I know you scored your 30th of your career, which is the first time you've done so. Just what is it a testament to this year for you in terms of getting 30 goals? That's a hard thing to do in this league.
No, I don't know. I play with obviously 2 really good players. A lot of goals has been easy goals, but it's obviously nice to get to 30. I've been close a couple times, but haven't been able to get there. So it's obviously nice to finally break it.
And Jacob, for you, I know it's very much team statistic, but 9 shutouts, approaching Kiprusoff's record. Special for you as well?
No, I think, if you look at the games, most games have, you know, not looked like this, but similar. So, you know, it's definitely a team stat, and just try to tell the guys to keep it going and keep playing this way. You know, it's fun to be a goalie for this team.
Speaking of fun, can you describe the atmosphere of playing, Saturday night, crowds going crazy, teams dominating?
I mean, this whole home stretch has been awesome. You know, since we got full capacity at the Dome, it's been great, and they're helping us a lot, and it's extra motivating to play better and to play good, and you get some extra momentum swings in a game when it's really tight and stuff like that. So they have a great part of this success that we have as a team. The fans.
I know you mentioned Michael Stone. What does it say about a guy, a professional like him, being able to come in the way he did?
Yeah, I mean, you see him every day. Practice. He goes out early. He works on his game, and he never complains. And he's in the gym and working out. So he does everything right, and it shows when you come in like this and get to play and play this well as well. So it's fun to see.
Thanks, guys.
We call it the Ram 1500 Limited. But, truth be told, there's nothing limited about it. Ram 1500, winner, J.D. Power Award for Best Driver Appeal.
The all-new Ram 1500 is here with unmatched capability, technology, and luxury. This truck makes no compromises. Welcome back to the post-game show alongside Ryan Dittrick. Okay, we've got Colorado up next weekend, or tomorrow, actually. There's a whole bunch of commotion behind us. Everybody's
it all runs
packing.
together at this point.
They're trying to get on the plane as quickly as they possibly can. The $1 million question, is it Markstrom or is it Vladar that starts?
If I knew the answer to that question, I think I'd
get
be.
Your crystal
yeah,
ball.
yeah. I think the crystal ball. Daryl Sutter's got that one locked away pretty well. But I mean, Jacob Markstrom's been incredible. They've shown over the past few weeks they're not afraid of throwing a guy in on the back-to-back scenario. 9 shutouts now. He's one off Kipper's record, so maybe. But we know Dan Vladar's had the net a few times here over the past few as well and has looked good. So, including actually last week in Colorado. So I don't think it really matters who they go with. They're going to need to bring a very, very quality effort against a good team. We know the Avalanche are a little bit banged up right now. We know Gabriel Landeskog's out for a little while, I think indefinitely with knee surgery. Sam Girard is out as well, so they're feeling it. The Flames are feeling it too, just in a different way with the way the schedule shapes up. So hopefully they get the rest tonight and are ready to go tomorrow.
All right, well, we'll be watching that one tomorrow night. The Flames prevail over the Detroit Red Wings 3-0 here tonight. Jacob Markstrom gets his 9th career shutout of the season so far as the Flames get ready to travel to Colorado.
It's going to be fun. What do you think? You in the predictions game?
Oh God, I'm retiring now.
She is retiring. Alana, I'm not very good at goodbyes, that's for sure.
Neither
but
am
I know that
no crying, no dying.
The crew here at the Flames, the Stampeders. Oh, look at this.
Oh, geez.
Wouldn't you? I mean,
you guys are so
you've been
sweet.
so much. I've only had the pleasure for 4 seasons, and I know so many people here at the Saddle Dome have worked with you for much longer than that. So the professionalism, the energy that you bring to this rink every day is pretty awesome. We're going to miss you a lot, but we also know you're going to do some pretty great things in Toronto. So. And now Sean Kelso
is giving his sentiments as well that are, as you can imagine, very heartfelt and sincere.
But thank you, Alanna. It's been great.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure dealing with a professional organization like this, a dream come true. And yeah, I will miss you guys immensely. So promise mess I wouldn't do this.
That's a perfect way to finish it off.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's wrap this post-game show up. It's a 3-0 win over the Detroit Red Wings for the Flames. Jacob Markstrom gets his 9th shutout of the season. And up next for the Flames, they are heading to Colorado tonight. They'll take on the Avalanche tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Don't forget about that time change, Flames fans. And next home game for the Flames will be the New Jersey Devils, an 8 o'clock start on a Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in, Flames fans.
Elvis has left.